guys, welcome to issue 4 of our Mortal Realms review series. In this episode we'll be reviewing issue 4. Did you want to open it up, babe?
Okay. That ripped easy.
It does.
Yes.
So in this issue we're getting 4 Glade Wraiths, so that's basically the easy to build Glade Wraith set. We're getting a pot of Nihilac Oxide, which was originally designed to sort of give rusty look to brass and copper, but actually goes really well on the ghostly cloths and clothes and that. What do you think of the models, baby?
Even though they're supposed to be horses, they still look like death rats.
Been advised it's horse skulls, but if any of you are familiar with Terry Pratchett, the Death of Rats character has a very elongated skull. So they look really cool. There's a hell of a lot of detail on them. As always, they're very floaty. And as always, we're kind of hoping that they stick together solidly and don't break. Again, some awesome little bases there with some stuff. Also, we have this, which... Max, no less noise, boy. Is big. Big.
Very big.
So we have this, which is a double-sided big mat, which we're going to be hopefully playing on next week.
Nice.
My wife's commenting that it's nice. It has 2 sides. One is kind of Sigmarite ruins. The other is kind of like kind of graveyardy necropolis thing. So that's pretty cool. We are going to be catching up on some of the battles because we haven't done all of them. The prime reason for that is simply that I've been working and Julia has been busy pretending to learn stuff in school.
Of course.
So you're happy with these, yeah?
Yes. Cool. Enthusiasm, I know.
I think the reason they're called glaive wraiths is because they're wraiths and these big things here are glaives. Possibly. But they're pretty cool. Got some beautiful artwork on the front. And some cool stuff on the back, which we'll get into later. As always, signed by Ian, our spiritual lord. We're going straight into the Glaive Wraith Stalkers here. Do you want to read the blurb? Just the blurb. The blurb.
Words. Glaive Wraith Stalkers prowl through. Okay, yes, words. Words are very, very empowering. Glaive Wraith Stalkers prowl the realms in packs, seeking prey to hunt. Once their target is chosen, the pursuit begins. It will not end until their blades are buried in the heart of their victim. I did it. Protect me, please. It's the only thing that helps me get by.
So we've got another pretty cool bit here. Another little sort of story bit which we can get in each of these. From the Travels in Shyish. An Adventurer's Diary by Tarlak Malthar. Don't know who that is, but that could be interesting. And it goes on to discuss what the Glaive Wraith Stalkers are. They were once mountain hunters who rode down their prey for the thrill of the chase, despite the fact their prey was innocent of any crime. So basically they're douchebags, and because they did it on horse, they've been given horse faces, and now they have to hunt for eternity as horse-faced murder ponies, which is cool. Not going to do too much detail there. We've got a couple of bits here. We've got Winsome Verm. In the distant past, Winsome Verm was a powerful warlord. He was handsome and charming, traits that masked his true cruelty. After each battle, he pursued his fleeing enemies, hunting them for sport. His crimes eventually caught up to him when he was slain in battle. But still his punishment was not complete. Verm has been twisted into a Glaive Wraith Stalker, forever cursed to hunt down Nagash's enemies. So yeah, There's a little bit there. There's some more various bits and pieces. So that's pretty cool. There's a little folk song that doesn't have a tune. So that's cool. Then we've got the Sacrosanct Chamber. The Sacrosanct Chamber are responsible for controlling and deploying the Stormhost's magical power. Its warriors wield the storm energy of Azir, whether through their weapons or thanks to years of training as a wizard. They are created from the souls of those who wielded magic in life. It's worth noting that the Sequitors and their shooty brethren all come from the Sacrosanct Chamber. And the Sacrosanct Chamber, because it wields magic and has magic weapons, are the ones that are mostly countering the Nighthaunt incursions. So that's pretty cool. Next. Got some more bits about the Sacrosanct Chamber and how it works, and some details about the various dudes, or the various lords and guys that are in it. You've got the Lord Arcanum, the Lord Exorcist, the Lord Ordinator, the Knights Incanter, the Evocators, the Sequitors, the Castigators, and the Sacristan Engineers. Well, that's pretty cool. We've got pictures of all of them there. They're all the various guys that do this stuff. You mean the Lord Arcanum is the leader of the Sacrosanct Chamber. The Lord Exorcist, or the leaders, the Lord Exorcist are masters of channeling celestial energy to banish demons and night haunts. Lord Ordinators are arcane engineers, so they build the war machines. The Incanters are powerful mages who can call down the storm. The Evocators draw magical power of the storm into their bodies, using it to empower their allies. The Sequitors are frontline foot soldiers. The Castigators are support the line infantry with their bows that fire missiles. And the Sacristan Engineers are responsible for crewing the heavy war machines. So the big sort of 4-barrel crossbow that we've seen on the pictures, that's what they do. Now we've got the Necroquake. Again, this one's yours because you're a necro person.
Oh gosh. Haha. That's what we do. That's how we read. We absorb knowledge. The Necroquake was an arcane disaster of epic proportions. Yay. Its explosive power sent death magic pulsing across the realms, warping the very fabric of magic and causing the dead to arise from forgotten graves. I'm clever.
Basically, it's got some bits about the Necroquake there and Nashgizar there. But the fundamental thing is Nagash tried to create a giant black pyramid to draw all the power of death from all the realms to him, and the Skaven got involved, goblins got involved, everyone got involved, and Nagash done fucked up. So instead of getting all the magic to flow to him, it quaked out across all the realms and caused the rise of spirits and dead creatures, which is pretty cool and pretty scary. It also had other effects, such as empowering spells to the point that they never die, which has given us what they call the undying spells. If you're not familiar with an undying spell, it's what it sounds like. Basically, a normal spell, you cast it, it does its thing, it goes away. An undying spell is an undying fireball, you cast it, it continues rolling around hither and yon forever, never ending. We've got some more pictures of a Necroquake here. So some more description of a Necroquake and the aftermath. And a picture of a skeleton rat eating corn on the cob made of teeth.
What?
A skeleton rat kind of thing. Or a skeleton bird, I'm not entirely sure. And it's eating corn on the cob, and the corn on the cob are made of teeth. And that is just weird. But then again, most of the stuff is there. It also goes and deal into a quick brief thing about the Skaven and who they are. They're a race of rat people that burrow under it. So that's cool. Next, it goes on to Azir. The realm of heavens is ruled by Sigmar, and Sigmar alone. It was here that the God King first set foot upon the earth of the mortal realms. Having been rescued from the destruction of the world that was,
Azir is now a shining example of the might of Sigmar and his followers. Untouched by chaos, it is a bastion of order and justice.
Spooky.
It's basically it's the true blue, whiter than white realm ruled by the good guy god who is Sigmar. There's loads of cool things in it, which it describes here. And it's the realm from which Sigmar rallies. It's not the only realm that of the realm of the Alliance of Order, and it's not the only realm of good guys by a long shot. There's a lot of good guys and bad guys out there. Nice picture of Sigmar there being tall and not at all the Emperor. And some more descriptions of what goes on here. It also describes the Purge of Chaos, which was basically when Sigmar pulled back his forces to Azir at the beginning of the Age of Sigmar, or prior to the Age of Sigmar, the Age of Legends. He shut the doors so that he could basically gather his strength and come back out later. In order to make sure that he hadn't let any chaos in with him and that no one would kind of try and open a back door, he basically went through and killed anybody that was even suspected of being tainted. He didn't do this because he was a bad guy. He did it because he knew he had to, otherwise, he had to kill thousands or risk the lives of millions and things like that. So that's pretty nasty. Here we've got the how to build glaive wraiths. Are you looking forward to that?
Kind of, also kind of not. It's fiddly. I'll drop it.
Oh, you haven't dropped anything else, and these aren't...
I have dropped it, you've just not seen me.
Fair enough. Obviously, we've got the important bit, which is the clipper safety. If you're not careful with the clippers, you could lose an entire arm. The instruction, sort of one-page instructions, fairly straightforward, fairly simple, and should enable you to build your glaive race without any problem. Next, we've got the how to paint Nighthawks. This, obviously, we've been using the Corax white, and now we're going to use the Nihilak oxide, which is a technical. So we've been base coating them white, but we're going to get down to it. But you do the base coating white, and then because the Nihilak oxide is quite thin, once you've got multiple layers over and it's pure white like that, you then paint it with the Nihilak oxide, and you get kind of a weird greeny colour there. You want to try and do that? Yeah? It's
Maybe
basically
some
one
of
per
them.
paint job. It stops there. I mean, I personally would consider dry brushing some of it up and working on some other things, but obviously they'll deal with stuff like that later. Next, we've got the Crypt of the Barrow King. Something wicked stirs. Wicked! You're taking Anastasia, Star Trek, and Max and her fellow Eternals.
Nice.
And you're going to fight the Nighthawk guys. There's a nice bit of story there. Maximus, if you want me to go into bed and snuggle, you're going to have to behave yourself. And this is the first time we're using the main things. We've got how to move. It's going through how to move models again. We're going to be using the big map they've given us. Each it describes how the movement works. Now, so we've done combat and piloting in the previous game, or piloting and combat. Now we're adding movement to that, and it gives you the stats. Well, it gives you the examples of how to use it and how to work it with the glaive wraiths and the castigators. And here we're seeing war scrolls. We've seen partial war scrolls earlier. These are the basic war scrolls for all the guys. It tells you things like the castigators move 5 inches and they do 2 damage. And it tells you what the Thunderhole equals and remove 1 model. The Thunderhole, and that they have 2 damage. And then it tells you what the Great Bow does. It tells you the Grave Ray Stalkers move 6 inches and have 1 damage. And also tells you what their weapons do. And it also goes back and gives you the stats of the Griffhound, the Sequitors, the Chain Raspord, and the Mormion Banshees. So you can now start mucking about. It hasn't given any points values. A lot of Age of Sigmar doesn't worry about point values. It tells you to kind of work it out for yourself. But there are guidelines and things like that. For example, how many models, how many war scrolls you build. or there's something called the Emperor's Handbook, which gives you a full detailed point cost if you want to do something called matched play. Then we've got the advertisement. Go on and subscribe, you know you want to. Don't you want to, Judith? Don't you want to subscribe?
No, I really don't.
To be honest, there's a lot of cool stuff with the subscription, but I'd rather support my local shop, and frankly, you're getting enough in just buying it. I mean, if we work out the Glaive Race cost a tenner, the Nihilak Oxide cost $2.75, so $12.75 minus $7.88 is $4.74. So you're saving like over 30% already, so that's actually a really good saving. Next issue we have Azura Thunderbolt. She's basically the first hero, and I learn about the Knight's Encounter, which is pretty awesome. And if I look at that, for issue 5, you've got a lot about the Knight's Encounter. Play a game with your new hero. Then issue 6, check how awesome those are.
Those ones cool.
For issue 6, we've got these bad boys, who are the Thorns of the Briar Queen. So you've got the Briar Queen in the middle, who's I'm guessing a character, and these guys who are her thorns. Discover the lost city of Shadespire. Yeah. And Unbinding Spells playthrough. So there's some bits there covering some magic and how it doesn't, and how to undo magic. I would imagine because she is a wizard, I'm going to be learning about magic next week as well.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry. You're a hairy wizard. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to be trying to get onto some of the battles soon because I've got the weekend off and stuff, so I've got time. And we will see you guys next week. Say goodbye, Wargamer daughter.
Bye.
Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Not sure why, but I am. So if you like it, see me there, and please tell your friends. Thanks very much. Bye.